Hey guys, today I've come to an ancient city in the southeast of Chiang Mai. This city is called Wiang Khum Kham. Now Thailand hasn't always been here as a country. Before it was called Thailand, it was called Siam. And then before the capital was at Bangkok, it was at another city called Ayutthaya. And then there were a number of other kingdoms prior to that, one called Sukhothai, and in the north one called Lanna. Lanna was founded in sometime in the 11th century, I think. And before that kingdom, there was, I believe, another kingdom that was founded by the Mon people. And this is the city, the capital of that civilization that we've come to look at today. Right now we're looking at the main hall or the main temple for this city. The Thais didn't know for some time that there was a city buried underneath the modern city until about 100 years ago. Since then, a number of ruins have been found and a number of restoration works have been done by the Thai Fine Arts Commission. The name of this particular temple we're looking at now is Wat Chedi Liam. And mainly it consists of a huge white chedi, this main temple, and a residence for Buddhists. A lot of people come here. This is one of the wats in the ancient Thai city that we're talking about. It's now part of Chiang Mai. The name Khum Kham means the temple of the gold chedi, and the later name means the temple with the angular chedi. And I have seen some monks here today, and you'll see them in a minute. This temple was built in about 1287 AD, and it did remain in use during that early Lanna period I was describing, after the new city of Chiang Mai had been established by a great king called Mongray the Great. And there is a statue of him and two other great kings in the middle of Chiang Mai. It holds a very special place in the history of Chiang Mai and in the north. These current buildings are from a renovation in about 1908. The renovation was actually done by a Burmese trader. And because of that, many of the decorations in this temple are Burmese in style. For example, all but one of the Buddha images on the chedi are wearing a yellow Burmese colour rather than the white Thai colours. I didn't know anything about that. Also, this chedi was renovated in 1992 when a number of other improvements were made to this site. Now, not all of these improvements were popular, I believe, nor were some needed repairs carried out. You can see that looks beautiful, but there's also a number of other repairs that are required. That's the big white stupa I was talking about. Despite its great age, the wat is used in much the same way as later wats. For example, and not today because I'm coming here on a weekday, but on the weekend during market. This chedi you're looking at now, it's a 5-tiered design, and it was very common in the early Lanna period. It shows the influence of the Mon Hari Puncha, I think that's how it's pronounced, design. Each corner of that chedi is guarded by a large outward-facing line. And there are Buddha statues showing different mudras on 4 of the tiers of the chedi. The main hall that you saw before, those decorations are in very good condition, both inside and out. You see there, what we're looking at, those yellow Burmese colours. It's actually pretty massive. Now, this city of Wiang Khum Kham is located in the Sarafai district, in the northern region of Thailand, which is where Chiang Mai is. It's about 3 kilometres southeast of the city. According to chronicles and other ancient scrolls that were found, and archaeological evidence, the old city was built by the king I mentioned before, around the latter part of the 13th century. I think it was 1296. You can see it's in pretty good condition for something that's quite that old. Now, this city was established as a new capital by the king after his victory over the Mon People's Kingdom. Mon People's Kingdom. That Mon civilization was called Lumphoon. There's actually a city called Lumphoon south of Chiang Mai. It's got a similar city to this one. But due to repeated flooding, a new capital, Chiang Mai, was built a few years later. Wiang Khum Kham flourished during the reign of the Mongrai dynasty until about the 16th century. The old city was then lost from history for many years after Chiang Mai was conquered by the Burmese in 1558. There's a presumption that it was pretty seriously flooded again at that time and was finally abandoned. The reason that is recently in the last few years this area was, isn't it funny, lady allowed to enter, going in, until recently, a few years ago, this area was flooded as well, which probably explains why the capital was moved to the present site of Chiang Mai. It was actually abandoned at that time. The people were moved back to the area again more than 200 years later with a new community, and it was then named Chiang Mai village. Now, what we're looking at now is some other ruins that are scattered around the current suburbs. These ruins were excavated by fine arts over a period of years in the 80s. You can see it's pretty well done. Unfortunately, there's a lot of other ruins that are situated around the area as well, that are underneath the ground of current landowners, which means that they can't be renovated. There are quite a lot of ruins to see. It's fairly impressive. You see there's a lot of dogs here. You get a lot of dog packs around Thailand in most places. The brickwork's pretty good. In 1984, the Department of Fine Arts discovered remnants of this old city, and that's when these excavations were began. And since then, and ongoing, many new remains are found, and the restoration is still proceeding until the present day. This area here that I'm showing you isn't occupied by monks, but the first one, where what big white chetty is, that was. This spot that I'm showing you now is another one that seems to be occupied by monks. There are quite a few around here. This is called Wat Canton, and it's in another part of the Wiang Khum Kham ruins. You probably need a motorcycle to get around these places, but I did see a number of buggies and actually horse-drawn carts that were taking people on tours. This site contains a big hall and some other chetties, as well as some ruins next to it, which I'll show you in a minute. I love the Thai architecture. I think it's very ornate. Unfortunately, the purpose for which it's made is a bit sad. Now, this King Mangrai relocated this capital, from Chiang Rai, not this one, but his first one, from Chiang Rai to the old city of Wiang Khum Kham on the banks of the Ping River in 1288. Now, he chose a new site on the higher opposite bank of the Ping River after the flooding, and that's where he created Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai means new city. There are approximately 30 archaeological sites around this area, including many ancient temples that have been found within the ancient rectangular-shaped city wall and just beyond. Finds excavated at Wiang Khum Kham site suggest that there had been a long history of settlement in the area, dating back even to the 8th century AD and possibly before that. As I mentioned, the whole site is too large to cover on foot, and it's now basically spread out across several suburban neighbourhoods. I got around by motorcycle, but you might like to hire a tuk-tuk. Some of the sites I've shown you are the ones that are in the best conditions. This Wat Chang Kham, which is named after the craftsman Kam Tong who built it, is probably the one in the second best condition to the Wat Chetty Liam that I showed you before. This one here is 2 stories, and I was about to climb up to the top story. There's no sign telling me that I couldn't, but I didn't want to get in too much trouble, so I didn't go up there. I don't know if it was safe anyway. Now this is the ruins I was showing you in the other part of the grounds. This is right next to the hall you just saw. It's in very good condition. Surprisingly, I didn't see too many people in the area at the time. There was only one other Thai couple who were there looking at the temple. I think the ruins are marvellous. Remember when this city was founded in the 1100s? A corresponding event at the same time, or just before this, was the Battle of Hastings in 1066 in England, which changed the course of our history and the history of all the other countries in the British Empire. The sites are kept very clean by the monks. It's very quiet, very peaceful. A few monkeys around, lots of dogs. Very lush area. Now, for all this building work, this capital only served as a city for 10 years before the flooding. To find this place, you have to enter via route 3029 according to Google Maps on the Chiang Mai to Lampun route, and follow the signed road past a small roundabout with a fountain, and then I turned left at the T-junction, and that's when I reached Wat Chedi Liam. I think it's great coming to have a look at the history of this area and getting a bit of an understanding of what's been here for quite a lot of time. I hope you've enjoyed it.